Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm happy to be back on my channel. I have taken a short break, as many of you know. I say short break. I took a break because my beloved grandmother passed, and I was having to deal with everything that goes along with that emotionally, and I didn't feel like doing tarot readings on the royal family was the best thing for me to be doing at the time. The energy was just real thick and heavy, and I was dreading doing it every day. I was dreading coming on here and talking about those same things. So I just decided to quit doing that. And I really, truly believe in life that you have to follow your intuition. You have to follow your gut feelings. If something feels like poop, you shouldn't be doing it, right? So myself included in that. So I stopped. I have enjoyed the break. I have been resting. I have been healing. I will not say that I am healed. I think that that is a lifelong process. But I'm here, and today's a good day, and I wanted to come on and talk to you guys today about dreams, and specifically the difference between what you would call a normal or a regular dream and what I would call a spiritual or extraordinary dream. So I have notes, and you will see me reading from them, and that's just because I want to make sure that I give you accurate information and that I present the information to you in a way that I want to say it to you. So what are dreams? According to Wikipedia, a dream is a succession of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during sleep. I would add to this that dreams are the subconscious mind working things out from the day. So a mix of things we've consumed through TV or social media, conversations that we've had, issues or challenges that we might be facing, things like that. Dreams are unique to the individual, highly personal, and also highly mysterious. The same Wikipedia entry also notes that dreams are not fully understood. This is so important. They're not understood as far as purpose, why do we dream? And they're not understood as far as mechanism, meaning how do we dream? That's something that scientists don't understand either. And I personally don't believe that dreaming is entirely physical or entirely something that your brain makes up for you to do while you're resting. So for the purposes of today's video and our talk today, I'm going to assume that most of us know what dreams are. We have an idea what dreams are, or if I say the word dream, you know what that means for you, and have experienced dreams sometime in their lifetime. I am going to talk briefly about dreams that are ordinary, regular, and spiritual dreams, or what I call extraordinary dreams. So this can include messages from higher selves, spirit guides, our angels, past life memories, astral projecting, and even receiving visits from deceased loved ones, which happens to me a lot. I even receive visits from other people's deceased loved ones, and sometimes I'll have to approach those people. Well, not have to, but I want to approach those people and say, hey, your friend that passed, she came to me in a dream and she was talking about you, and here's what she said, because I believe so strongly that in dreams, the veil between our side and the other side is very, very thin. It's a lot thinner than it is in our waking life because of the brain wave state that we're in, and because we're not so distracted by everything around us. Everything is quiet, right? All we can do is listen. All we can do is receive. So how can you tell the difference between a regular dream and a spiritual or extraordinary dream? A spiritual dream will usually, but not always, include one of the following. And I want you to know, disclaimer, before I go over any of these are things that I have noticed in my personal experience. I do have a lot of dreams. I tend to dream every night. Some of them mean things. Some of them are messages. Some of them matter. And some of them are what my husband would call chewing gum for your mind. The gerbil on the treadmill is just something for the brain to do. They're not all regular normal dreams, and they're not all spiritual dreams. So here's some things that I've noticed in my experience in my lifetime about spiritual or extraordinary dreams, and ways that, or things that you can look for in your dreams to know if that dream meant something, did it matter. You can feel free to add in the comments of this video things that you've noticed, about spiritual dreams or extraordinary dreams, things that tend to be true for you, I would really love to hear about that, because I know that not everybody's experience is the same as mine. Okay, just want to say that before we get started. So number one, you receive information, and it's usually information that you didn't know before. So it could be a phrase or a name or numbers, a prediction, some kind of a vision of something that's going to happen in the future. It could be a loved one coming and telling you something about themselves or their lives that you didn't have any way of knowing before. Have you ever dreamed about a person getting married and then they call and tell you the next day that they are engaged, or had a specific number? For me, this just happened 2 days ago. 317 feature in a dream and then appears somehow in your waking life. I saw 317 in a dream. I woke up thinking 317, 317. So I wrote it down in my dream journal. And then for the rest of that day, and I think the day after, I kept seeing 317. And that doesn't sound significant, but for me, it felt significant. And angel numbers play a big part in our physical experience if we allow them. And it's a way that our angels and guides can give us messages. So of course I looked up 3 and 1 and 7 and 317 and took out of that what I thought was for me so that I can use that moving forward. Also, I do believe that if you are receptive to these messages, if you take something like 317 and write it down and research it and study it, you will receive more messages that way, because your higher self, your guides, your angels, they see that you are being receptive and you are being proactive with that information. So if you want more of that, make sure that you're doing something with that. It's just a little tip. Number 2, especially if it's an astral travel or a past life memory dream, the location or surroundings will be familiar to you. You may visit this place a lot in dreams. There are certain places I only go in dreams, and I've never been to these places in my waking life, but I return to them over and over and over in my dreams, and I believe it's because I've been there in other lifetimes, okay? Could be a forest cottage or a castle. You've never seen them maybe in your waking life, but you know that you've been there before. This is the same with people you encounter. You may feel sadness or longing after waking up from these types of dreams because you miss this place. You could be dreaming of some place that used to be your home. You could be dreaming of someone who used to be your lover. And so they're familiar to you in the dream, even if they don't look like anybody that you know in this lifetime. And specifically with these types of dreams, I wake up with a little bit of sadness, like I miss it, like I want to go back to sleep and get back in that dream. I want to go back to that place. Okay. Number 3, lucid dreams. Disclaimer again, I don't have lucid dreams. I don't have a lot of experience with. I don't really know how to do this, okay? But some of you do, so if you want to talk about it in the comments, feel free. These are dreams where you realize that you're dreaming, and instead of waking up, which is usually what happens to me, if I ever realize, oh my gosh, I'm in a dream, poof, I'm awake. But instead, when you're lucid dreaming, you have the ability to look around and say, I'm in a dream right now. How can I play with this? What can I do? Let me test myself. And you play around with things in your dreams. So you may try to fly or walk through walls or something like that. I don't have much experience with lucid dreaming, but it is something that you can, as I understand it, you can teach yourself or train yourself to do. If you just Google that, there are lots of different techniques. You can actually look it up here on YouTube as well. There are a lot of ways to get started with that. The one that I hear over and over is to tell yourself a phrase for something to look for in a dream. So red door. If you tell yourself before you go to sleep, red door, red door, red door, and drift off to sleep thinking about that, then when you're in your dream state and you see a red door, it's supposed to trigger you to remember or to realize, I'm dreaming right now because there's a red door, and then you can play around and have fun with it. It's not something that I do. I would love to know more about it. If you want to tell me about it down in the comments, please feel free. Number 4, when you dream of your past loved ones, they look different. This is one that happens to me, I won't say frequently, but about 50-50. When I get visitations from people that I love, that I know are visitations, sometimes they look exactly as I remember them, exactly as they looked the last time I saw them. And then other times, they look totally different. And I think this is because they're allowed to choose how they show up for us. So, and again, just based on my personal experience, they may have a radiant or angelic glow about them. But that's not really what I'm talking about. I have heard that is what some of you experience, and some of you have told me that that's what you experience, especially right after someone passes. I don't get that a lot. For me, for example, my grandfather was old the whole time I knew him. He was an older parent anyway, and by the time I got here, he was in retirement. And so he always had gray hair, later white hair, and wrinkles. You know, as we age, we look like we look. And so that's how I knew him for my whole life. And I had a dream about him one time, and he came to me young, with brown hair, in a military uniform. And I had never seen him like that before. And I had seen maybe one picture of him like that before, but it wasn't colorized or anything like that. So I didn't have a lot of information. So when I woke up from that dream, I knew that that was him. And I've had a similar dream about my grandmother where she chose to be youthful. And I think she was her youthful self before I even met her, again, like my grandfather. So those for me felt real because they weren't things that I could have made up. And I actually had a couple of details that I was able to verify with other people in my life. Hey, did she have a dress like this? Or did he, have this certain thing, and was told yes. And there really wasn't a way that I could know that. So if your loved ones are coming through in a way that is unfamiliar to you, but in a way that you can verify, that's definitely a sign that it's a visitation. I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything in here. Yeah. This doesn't mean that if they show up exactly as you remember, it's not a visitation. It totally could be. My grandpa has also come to me exactly as I remembered him. That happens too. So please don't take what I'm saying to mean that it's not a visitation. As always, I think that you should go with your gut and trust your intuition. And that leads me to my last point. Please don't roll your eyes too hard at me on this one, because it's true. Just like people always say about finding your soulmate or falling in love, a lot of times you just know. You just know that this dream is special. You just wake up from this dream knowing that that was not a regular dream. That was not normal. I feel different. That hasn't happened before, okay? The look of the dream might be different. The feeling of the dream might be different. It affects you in a way that regular dreams don't. It spurs you into action in some way. It stirs up emotions inside of you. Trust your intuition on this always, okay? So that's it. Those are my 5 ways that you can tell if a dream is a spiritual or extraordinary dream as opposed to just a regular, normal, subconscious, chewing on things kind of dream. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Also add your ways that you know when you're having a visitation or you're having a past life memory or you've astral projected to somewhere. I would love to hear your experiences as well. To have more spiritual dreams, I want to put this out there for any of you who struggle with this, who want to have more visitations, who want to experience these things and you're not able to, or you haven't been able to historically. Express gratitude. This is number 1 for me. When you get an extraordinary dream, when you have a message come through, express gratitude. Do something with it. Say thank you. Journal it. Make sure that you're using that or taking the advice or whatever it is. I think that's when Spirit, when Source, when our loved ones, our ancestors, whoever it is, when they see us being proactive, when they see that we're grateful for them coming through and we're going to do something with that, I think that they trust us with more. They give us more responsibility. They give us more messages. Journal is my number 2. Make sure that you're keeping a dream journal. I have a dream journal I keep under the pillow in my bed, and it doesn't matter what time of day or night it is. If I remember something, I scribble it down. If I wake up at 2 in the morning and I've just dreamt that Scooby-Doo was eating a pizza, riding a bicycle, I write that down because I don't know what is significant in this moment, but I may tomorrow at the grocery store see somebody with a t-shirt on. Scooby-Doo is in fact eating a pizza, riding a bicycle, and that might be confirmation of something. It might just be a hello from my spirit guides. So I do tend to write everything down and then weed out later or filter out later what of that is important. So make sure you're keeping a dream journal. Practice good sleep hygiene. I just mean have a bedtime routine, have a nighttime routine, honor your sleep. Don't be looking at your screens in bed or watching TV right before bed or doing things that you know are going to keep you awake or maybe not put you in the best frame of mind for receiving messages in dreams. And meditate during the day. I say this to people a lot in my everyday life. I just love meditation. I think it's great for everything, for all people. But in this case, it's particularly helpful because, especially if you're a person that says, I don't dream, start with meditation, okay? Because meditation is a choice. You don't fall asleep and then maybe I'm going to dream and maybe I'm not. Meditation, you're awake and you're choosing to try to get your brain into this state that is similar to the state that it's in when you're dreaming. So meditating is sort of practice for dreaming, okay? Dreams and meditation, I'm just going to read to you what I wrote down. Dreams and meditation are similar states, and I believe they open the same doors. Get comfortable with guided meditations, especially if you don't experience dreams. Have someone, have a voice walk you through something. Try to see what they're describing as best you can. Go ahead and open up. It feels to me like stretching out that ability that you feel like you don't have. The best thing to do is to practice it when you're awake, okay? Go ahead and stretch out that ability. Get used to visualizing. Get used to having your brain in that state when you're visualizing or asking for information or whatever. And I believe that meditating during the day will help you become a better dreamer at nighttime, okay? So questions for you. If you liked this video, let me know. Thumbs up. If you want to see more content about dreams, let me know, because we just didn't even barely crack the surface of everything there is to talk about on dreams. There's so much out there. Do you dream journal? Are you a lucid dreamer? If you are, I am supremely, supremely jealous. I have always wanted to have that gift, and it's not something that I'm able to do so far. I am working on it. Do you astral travel? What kind of visitations have you received in dreams? What else would you like for me to cover when it comes to dreams and the subconscious? Let me know. I'm here for you. I'm thankful for you. I'm so grateful for those of you who have stuck by me, stuck with me during this time, and you're still here. I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to talk with you guys about spiritual things, and to expand and to ascend and to vibe higher with you guys. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do that. And I think that's it. I love you guys. Bye-bye.